Welcome to our book Goals by Brian Tracy. And today on chapter 11, we are going to be completing it with the last 4 pages and then starting on to chapter number 12. And chapter number 11, we were talking about how we can all excel in the field that we choose. And today we are going to be reading the section on page number 156 on the top. You're born to excel. Your natural talents are inborn and easy to develop. They are programmed into your subconscious mind. They are what you were put on this earth to do. Your job is to discover this area of natural talent and ability and then to develop it throughout your life. Many skills are complementary. They're dependent on each other. This means that you must have one skill at a certain level in order to use your other skills at a higher level. Sometimes you have to learn and develop skills that you do not particularly love and enjoy. But this is the price you pay to be able to achieve excellence in your chosen field. So again, the two things to be noted here. There's one thing that we are naturally talented about, and it's inborn, we can develop it easily, and even working on that feels like no pressure because we just enjoy that flow. Now, if we can actually enjoy that flow and discover that this is what we want to develop throughout our lives, then that's also our ikigai, which is another book and which is also the concept that we can, what are we meant to do, what does the world want, and what are we great at. But there are also many skills complementing that particular thing that we have thought that we want to do. And they're somehow interlinked and they're dependent, which means that we may have to develop that in order to become better at what we are born to do. So it's very important that we develop these extra skills. We may not like them or like them, it doesn't matter. But because we love what we want to do, and if we develop that throughout, then this is something which we must do because this is complementary to that. Versus a situation where you pick up something that people tell you to do. Oh, this is the in thing. This is where you make money. This is what you should do. And you pick that up, but that's Latin Greek to you. You don't understand it. Then you'll be developing and learning and developing, and ultimately you may leave it. So very important for us to be in touch with what we are born to do. One skill away. Here is the rule. You could be only one skill away from doubling your productivity, performance, and income. You may only need to bring up your skill levels in one area for you to be able to use all of your other skills at a higher level. Remember that all business skills are learnable. Business skills are not genetically determined. If there's any business skill that you need to learn to realize and utilize your full potential, you can learn it by practice and repetition. So this is, I think, clear in itself. We don't need to elaborate on this. Avoid the trap of the poor performer. It is quite common that if you are weak in a particular skill, you will avoid taking action in that skill. You will fall into the trap of learned helplessness. You will say, I'm not really very good in that area, or I don't have any natural talent or ability in that skill. But this is merely rationalization and justification. If the skill is important enough to you, you can learn it. The very worst decision of all is for you to allow yourself to be held back for months or years because you lack a single simple skill that is readily learnable through dedication and determination. Don't let this happen to you. Excellence is a journey. There's an old saying, anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly at first. Now, isn't this in itself remarkable? अगर कुछ चीज करनी है तो just simply start. बुरे से बुरा होगा ना, but that बुरे से बुरा will teach us how to not do that बुरा and maybe do average. Now average से average होगा ना, it will teach us not to be average but to become good. Then good से good होगा ना, then that will teach us not to be good but to be excellence. So it's very important that we keep implementing, keep improvising, keep working. Well, until we start, we can never finish. When we start, we'll fall down, we'll flutter, we'll have problems, we'll have some hurdles. But those hurdles will teach us to walk ahead, to go ahead. Whenever you start something new, you can expect to do it poorly. You will feel clumsy and awkward at first. You will feel inadequate and inferior. You will often feel silly and embarrassed. But this is the price that you pay to achieve excellence in your field. You will always have to pay the price of success in your field. You will always have to pay the price of success in advance. And that price often involves the hard work of mastering a difficult skill that you need to move up to the top of your field. Very beautiful, very amazing. Wave your magic wand. So I hope all of you know that we are all born magicians. We all have it in us to do any kind of magic we want. So let's use the magic wand technique. Imagine that you could wave a magic wand and be absolutely excellent in any particular skill. What would it be? You could wave a magic wand and have any wish at all with regard to your talent, your skill. What would you wish for? Whatever your answer to these questions will often be an indication of the new goals that you have to set with regard to the skills and abilities that you need to develop to be the very best at what you do. Become a lifelong do-it-yourself project. That's what a lot of people say, right? I'm a person in progress. Because if we do not progress and we'll be a static person, redundant person, there'll be no growth. We are always learning everything, something every day on a lifelong level. Because Mother Earth is a school for giving us lessons, for us to be learning lessons. Now, those lessons come to us in varied forms. Sometimes we're not learning a lesson, and everybody is trying to teach us a lesson we can't understand. So, what will happen? Knocks and shocks of life will come. How will they come? Maybe somebody we loved is taken away from us. Maybe we have a disease in our body. I don't say disease because I know we're not easy with that. So I call it disease. I've learned this from one of my mentors, Louis Hay. So we are always a do-it-yourself project. We are becoming a better version of ourselves in every aspect of our being. That in itself is beautiful. Be prepared to invest 1, 2, or 3 years to become absolutely excellent in a critical area. Be willing to pay any price, make any sacrifice to be the best at what you do. The 3+1 formula. What is that? Let's understand. There's a 3+1 formula for mastering any skill. It is simple and it works every single time. First, read in the skill area each day, even if it's only 15 to 30 minutes. Knowledge is cumulative. The more you read and learn, the more confident you will become that you can do this job in an excellent fashion. So the first is bookish knowledge, okay? Very important. Bookish knowledge hogi to hum aage badh payenge. Second, listen to educational audio programs on the subject in your car. The average driver today spends 500 to 1,000 hours each year in his car driving around during the day. Turn driving into learning time. You can become one of the best educated people in your field by simply listening to audio programs in your car rather than music. Third, now this is very important, ना? So अगर आप walk पे जा रहे हो, college जा रहे हो, university जा रहे हो, walk कर रहे हो, if you're professional and you're traversing in your car or your bus or taxi or whichever form medium you're taking, some people cycle to work. I know very short distances, but they cycle. So simply put in the music instead of music. Education is your music. Whatever you're fond of, YouTube is full of such a plethora of magical stuff in there. Whatever field you choose, you'll find a lot of stuff. And some teachers you may be following already. So listen to them one by one. Third, attend seminars and workshops on your subject. Many people's lives have been changed completely by attendance at a single 1 or 2 day seminar on a key subject. Forever after, they were completely different in that area. So it's very important to be able to work on all the possible skills. So when we're reading, we're reading about we're using the eye skill. When we are hearing, we're using the ear skill. Now, when we are at a workshop, it's touch, it's sense, it's feel, it's hear, it's see, and all of them are activated because you are there in person, not behind a computer, not behind an audio cassette or CD or pen drive or whatever, podcasts or mobiles or whatever. And the final factor is to practice what you learn at the earliest possible opportunity. We've all heard the old adage, no? Practice makes a man perfect. So practice करना बहुत important है because practice से we will falter. When we will falter, we will learn. When we will learn, we will grow. When we will grow, we'll become excellent. So every time you hear a good idea, take action on it. The person who hears one idea and takes action on it more valuable than a person who hears 100 ideas but takes action on none of them. So पढ़ने वाले बहुत होते हैं, implement करना वाले कम होते हैं, and that is what 5% successful people do. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice what you're learning, the faster you will become competent and skilled in that area. The more you practice, the more confident you will develop. The more you practice, the more rapidly you will overcome your feelings of inadequacy in that skill, and the faster you will master it. The more you practice, the more rapidly you will add that skill to your mental toolbox, where you will possess it for the rest of your career. Resolve today, right now, to join the top 10% of the world in your field. Determine who they are, what they earn, what they do differently from you. Determine the special knowledge and skills they have developed and resolve to develop them yourself. Remember, anything that anyone has done within reason, you can do it as well. No one is better than you and no one is smarter than you. The very fact that the top people in your field were at one time not even in your field at all is proof that whatever they have achieved, you can achieve it yourself if you simply set it as a goal and work at it long enough and hard enough. There are no limits. Become an expert in your field. This is a chapter summary. It's in 5 points. Let's understand them before we read chapter number 12. Resolve today to join the top 10% of people in your field. Make a lifelong commitment to excellence. Now, your field could be you want to become a restaurateur. Your field could be you want to become a spiritual coach. Your field could be you want to become a health coach. Your field could be that you want to become an industrialist in, say, XYZ field. Or your field could be that you want to become a teacher or any business that you want to start. First, identify clearly which field are you having a calling towards. There's somebody I was coaching, we were co-learning in 2021. She said, while talking to everybody, and she's like, Didi, I flow when I start sketching and painting. And she showed me some of her artworks, and they were stunning to the next level. She made a portrait of me and my brother who I had lost, and it was absolutely remarkable. And then I just said, why don't you start charging? She said, but I've never done that. And within the group, we were 150 or 130 odd participants. She got the first job and she started putting them on social media as advised by others. Today, she's a flourishing artist and she sells her artwork so beautifully. And what was she doing before? Some garment clothing for little children. But now her ikigai was painting. So first, see what are you good in? Like people who are good in sports, they become excellent there. People who are good in, dance, they become great there. So see where are you interested in. Some people who talk very beautifully are great coaches. So see what is your expertise. Number 2, identify the key result areas of your job, the things you absolutely, positively have to do well to be successful in your field. Number 3, identify your weakest key area and start a do-it-yourself project to become excellent in that area. Number 4, determine the additional knowledge you will need to get to the top of your field and then develop a plan to acquire that knowledge. Number 5, dedicate yourself to lifelong learning. Read, listen to audio programs, attend courses and seminars, and then put what you learn into action as quickly as you can. The last one is my favorite. It's beautiful. All right. Welcome everybody to our chapter number 12 in the book Goals by Brian Tracy. And here we are being taught how we associate with the right people. And I want to add something to it. Luck is always, they say, by chance, but I believe that nothing is coincidental. It's always meant to be. So if you are at the right place at the right time, that's where luck is and that's where your destiny is. So Orison Swett Marden says, your outlook upon life, your estimate of yourself, your estimate of your value are largely colored by your environment. Your whole career will be modified, shaped, molded by your surroundings, by the character of the people with whom you come in contact every day. So it's very important to keep good company. If we are in the company of girls who, suppose if you're a student and if the girls and boys who gossip, then we will also be gossiped about and we also may learn to gossip. If we are in the company of people who are studying very hard or working very hard, achieving their goals, becoming speakers and blah, blah, blah. And if that inspires us, we in the company, we will also become like that. So very important for us to keep like-minded company. Everything in life and business is relationships. Everything you accomplish or fail to accomplish will be bound up with other people in some way. Your ability to form the right relationships with the right people at every stage of your life and career will be the critical determinant of your success and achievement, and will have an inordinate impact on how quickly you achieve your goals. The more people you know, and who know you in a positive way, the more successful you will be at anything you attempt. One person at the right time, in the right place, can open a door for you that can change your life and save you years of hard work. So, again, if you want to master a particular field, find the mentors in that field. Talk to them about the mistakes that they have made so that you don't make those mistakes when you start off your career. Very important to have the right mentors. No one does it alone, and the mentors should never become your business partners, because then they will have the edge and they will do what they know better, and then you will again be at a loss. Let mentors be only mentors. Do not associate them with becoming your partners. No one does it alone. A key part of goal setting is for you to identify the people, groups, and organizations whose help you will require to achieve your goals. To accomplish goals of any kind, you will need the help of lots of people. Who are they? There are three general categories of people whose help and cooperation you will require in the years ahead. They are the people in and around your business, your family, friends, people in your groups and organizations outside your business or social circle. You need to develop a strategy to work effectively with group. What's your key business relationship? Start with your business. Who are the most important people in your business life? What is your plan to develop higher qualities, higher? Make a list of everyone who works inside and outside of your business, your boss, colleagues, co-workers, subordinates, and especially your customers, suppliers, and vendors. Which of these people have the greater ability to help you or hurt you in the achievement of your business or career goals? Sometimes I ask my audience how many of the people present are in customer service. Only a few hands go up. I then point out that everyone in the business of customer service, no matter what they call it or what they do. Now, isn't that right? हम हमेशा किसी ना किसी को सर्व कर रहे होते हैं. बिना अगर हम सर्व नहीं करेंगे तो how can we run any kind of business or any kind of service? Even teachers, they're serving students by educating them, right? And we're all serving mankind in some way or another. Mothers are, in a way, serving their children or their family members, maybe serving with love, but service is a very important part of every single field. So let's identify our customers. A customer can be defined as anyone who you depend upon for success and advancement in your job or business. A customer can also be defined as anyone who depends on you in any way. By these definitions, almost everyone around you is a customer in some way. For example, boss is your primary customer at work. Your ability to satisfy your boss will have more of an impact on your future, your income, your career than any other single action you take. And this is a very different take. They're saying our boss is our primary customer at work. So if we are working under somebody, our job is to make our boss happy, because every action that we take will please him and it will develop our income, it will improve our career, it will improve our future. So if you displease everyone else, but your boss is delighted with you, you will be safe and secure in your job. If you please everyone inside and outside your company, but your boss is unhappy with you, that problem alone can short circuit your future. So of course, the right ideal thing will be the boss is very happy and people are very happy. It's a cherry on the cake. Now, your customer service strategy. One of the best strategies you can use is to make a list of everything that you believe what you have been hired to do. Answer the why am I on the payroll? And write down everything you can think of. Then take this list to your boss and ask your boss to organize this list in order of his or her priority. What is most important to your boss? What is second most important? What is third most important? And so on, so forth. From that moment onward, discipline yourself to work on your boss's top task all day long. Make sure that whenever your boss sees you or talks to you, you're working on what he or she has told you in his or her top priority for you. This will do more to help you in your career than any other single decision you make. So very good advice, I guess. 2 key qualities for promotability. In a survey of 104 chief executive officers, CEOs, reported Success magazine a few years ago, they were presented with 20 qualities of an ideal employee and asked to select the most important. 86% of senior executives selected 2 qualities as being most important for career success and advancement than any others. They were first, the ability to set priorities, to separate the relevant from the irrelevant. Second, it was ability to get the job done fast, to execute quickly. There's nothing that will help you more in a career than to get the reputation for being the kind of person who gets the most important job done quickly and well. Now, that's something which is a given, right? Hard work on the wrong task. What happens if we do that? Here's the catch. Many people are working very hard at their jobs, but they're not working on their on what their boss considers to be the most important job that they could possibly be doing. The sad thing is, if you do an unimportant job very well, this could hurt your career and even threaten your job. But if you work on your boss's top priority and you get it done quickly and well, this can help you more than any other single task you could perform. And this, my dear children, if there are any children here, this will go very well with your schoolwork as well. So your boss is your teacher there, right? As conditions change, keep the lines of communication open with your boss. Be sure that what you're doing today is still your boss's top priority. And then make a game of doing it fast. There's nothing that makes a boss happier than to have someone who gets the job done quickly. Be sure that you are that person. Your other key customers. Your co-workers who also depend on your work are your customers as well. Go to each one of them and ask them if there's anything that you can do to help them. Ask them if there's anything that you could do more of, less of, or stop that will help them to do their jobs. The fact is that people think about themselves and their jobs all day long. Anytime you offer to help someone to do his or her job better or faster, he or she will be wide open to helping you later. And this goes with students also. Oftentimes, you'll find students not sharing notes and not helping each other because of competition. But the more you help, the more you succeed in life, and that's also a given. The law of sowing and reaping is not the law of reaping and sowing. There's a particular order to this law. First you put in and then you get out. First you sow, then you reap. आज अगर हम कोई बीज डालेंगे किसी थॉट का, किसी चीज का, किसी इनिशिएटिव का, कल हम फसल काटेंगे. Very simple. You should look for and लोग क्या करते हैं? मुझे returns कितने मिलेंगे उसके हिसाब से today I will put in my work. That doesn't work like that. You should look for every opportunity in your work to help someone, to help people and do nice things for others. Every honest effort you make to help other people will come back to you in some way at some time, and often when you least expect it. The most popular people in every organization are those who are always willing to lend a helping hand. The more the people next to you, above you, and below you like you and support you, the more you will get paid and the faster you will be promoted. Develop a reputation as a go-giver, as well as being a go-getter. Look for ways to be a valuable resource to the people around you, and they will automatically look for ways to help you and support you when you most need it. Be a team player. Perhaps the most important qualities you can develop for long-term success in your business is that of being a good team player. In a multi-year study at Stanford University, researchers found that the ability to function well as part of a team was the most outwardly identifiable quality of a person who was marked for rapid advancement. Team dynamics are very interesting. First of all, 20% of the team members do 80% of the work. The 80% contribute very little to the meetings and very seldom raise their hands or volunteer for anything. Your job is to be a member of the top 20% only. To be a good team player, always come prepared to every meeting. Sit opposite in direct eye contact with the person who's running the meeting. Speak early, ask questions, volunteer for assignments. And when you offer to do something, do it quickly and well, so it's clear that the go-to person, that you are the go-to person in the company. The most important ability is dependability. You can create a positive, attractive force of field of energy around you by developing a reputation for being the person that everyone can depend on to get the job done. As a result, you will be given more and bigger jobs, and both the authority and the rewards that go with those jobs. Take time to get to know your subordinates and the people who are below you on the corporate ladder. Talk to them and ask them questions. Offer to help them if you can. Be especially kind and courteous with them. Go out of your way to compliment them and recognize them for their work. You will be amazed at the difference this makes in your career. पहली बात तो ये pleasing के लिए लिखा हुआ है, but gratitude and appreciation and love is something which is common in the world. So if you can genuinely see the goodness in people, you're anyways going to be a winner. So you don't have to fake it till you make it. Yes, do that if it works for you better. But if you're more genuine and you're doing this, then nothing like it. So rather than just doing makhanbazi, try and become a genuine person, see the good side in people. Invest in relationship building. In every organization, the person who knows the most people is usually the person who, like cream, rises to the top. Initially, it may seem the relationship building takes a lot of time, but it will pay for itself over and over again in the months and years ahead. Outside of your business, you should get involved with your industry and with your industry associations. The most powerful executives and sales professionals network regularly with other business people in other business groups. They keep expanding their professional contacts and friendships. Look at the business organizations in your community. Select one or two organizations that contain people that it would be helpful for you to know in the years ahead. Attend their meetings and introduce yourself to them. Once you have decided that it would be useful for you to be a member of one of the organizations, join up and begin attending every meeting. So, network professionally. Here is the best strategy of all for networking. Select an important committee within the organization and volunteer to work on that committee. Choose a committee that has other members on it that you would like to get to know over time. Choose a committee that's engaged in activities that will bring you into contact with other key people, both inside and outside the organization. Once you join the committee, volunteer for assignments. Even though this work is unpaid, these activities gives you a great opportunity to work with and perform before other key people who can help you in your career sometime down the road. Fully 85% of new positions are filled in America through word of mouth and personal contacts. The more people that you know and work within your industry, the more doors of opportunity there are that will open for you when the time is right. Think and plan long term. Take a long term perspective in your career. As you read your local newspaper, make a list of top people in your community. Assemble the names, titles, businesses of 100 of the players in your city. As you gather these names, write each of them a letter and send them something that is non business related. Send a copy of a small book, a poem, a newspaper clipping, or anything that might be of interest to them based on what you have read about them in the papers. Each time you see a reason to communicate with that person, drop them a note. Sometimes I will make a phone call or write a letter to an executive who has just done something noteworthy that was reported in the business press. Often I don't get through or make direct contact, but I continue to sow seeds, and sooner or later, what goes around comes around. Eventually, I will end up meeting a key person socially or in business, and they remember that I dropped them a letter a week, a month, or even a year ago. One of the most important clients remembered that I had written him a letter more than 3 years ago when I met him for the first time at a business convention. He said, "Aren't you the one that wrote me the letter about such and such?" It led to a conversation, a meeting, and many years of work with the organization. Give of yourself. What does this mean? There's a rule that says the more you give of yourself with no expectation of return, the more that will come back to you from the most unexpected sources. तो एक हम कुछ करते हैं कि हम करेंगे तो हमें हमारे साथ कोई और भी हमें देगा और एक हम करते हैं just because of love and affection and helping others, then we will get so many times more back when the time is right. So we just keep doing the good work. No effort that you make to expand your contacts will ever be completely lost. So it's very important to know people in society, people in your organizations, people in the community. Very, very, very important. Like seeds, various contacts have different periods of germination. Some will yield results immediately, some will not yield results for many months or even years. You must be prepared to be patient. Like in my language, this is Shraddha and Saburi. Sai says that to just have faith and patience. Dr. David McKellen of Harvard University did many years of research into qualities and characteristics of high achievers in our society. What he found was that your choice of a reference group, the people with whom you habitually associate, was more important in determining your success or failure than any other single factor. As Zig Ziglar says, if you want to fly high with the eagles, you can't continue to scratch with the turkeys. So very, very, very important to do that. Again, there are 4 pages. Do you want me to finish now? We can take 5 more minutes, and otherwise I can do it tomorrow. Let me know in the chat box. Meanwhile, I will continue. Get around the right people. Get around the right people, make it a point to associate with the kind of people that you like, admire, respect, and want to be like sometime in the future. Associate with the kind of people that you look up to and would be proud to introduce to your friends and associates. The choice of a positive goal oriented reference group can do more to supercharge your career than any other factor. So, again, we choose to be positive, we choose to be goal oriented, and we work with a reference group, and then we will supercharge our career because that's how it's going to be. Fly with the eagles. This is very, very, very important. There are countless examples where an average person working at an average job, getting average results, and earning average pay has changed positions, gone to work with a highly progressive company. In a few weeks, the person's attitude has completely changed. By continued association with optimistic, result oriented, go ahead people, the previously average individual begins to perform at extraordinary levels. कहते हैं ना, एक switch button चलता है. That's what happens. This is why almost every major change in your life will be associated with a change in the people you live or work with. The turning points. At every turning point in your life, there's usually someone standing there guiding you in one direction or another, opening or closing a door for you or helping you in some way. Baron de Rothschild once wrote, "Make no useless acquaintances. If you're really serious about being the best and moving to the top of your field, you can't afford to spend your time with people who are going nowhere in their lives, no matter how nice they are. In this sense, you must be perfectly selfish with regard to yourself and your future ambitions. You must set high standards on your friends and associates and refuse to compromise." Now, this is something which is very powerful. Many people get into bad relationships and form useless friendships early in their careers. This is normal and natural. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, especially if you're young and inexperienced. But it is unforgivable to continue to stay in a situation that is holding you back from realizing your full potential. And your choice of the people you associate with will have more of an impact on you, what you become, than any other single factor. Your most important relationship. The third category of people whose help and cooperation you will require are your family and friends. As Benjamin Disraeli says, no success in public life can compensate for failure in the home. Wow. It is vital that you invest all the time and emotion necessary to build and maintain a high quality home life. When your family life is solid and secure, characterized by warm, loving relationships, you will do better in everything else in the outer world. But if something goes wrong with your home life because of inattention, neglect, it will soon affect your results at work in a negative way. Problems at home distract your attention and drain your energy. They can often sabotage your career. So, deliberate extremes. If you have to work very hard to get started in your field, be sure that you discuss and explain this clearly to people in your family. Throughout your career, you will be required to go to deliberate extremes. You will have to work long hours and often many days without breaks or vacations in order to take advantage of an opportunity or to complete a project. Be sure that you discuss these deliberate extremes in advance with the members of your family so that they can understand what is happening and why you're doing it. Arrange to compensate afterwards with taking time off or going away on family vacations. Keep your life in balance. So, pehle se if you tell everybody, there'll be no complaints, right? Because you've told them before. Become a relationship expert. Once you've decided upon the people, groups, organizations whose help and cooperation you will need to achieve your goals, resolve to become a relationship expert. Always treat people with kindness, courtesy, compassion, and I would say the word empathy. Practice the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Isn't that beautiful? दूसरों के साथ वो करो जो तुम चाहते हो कि वो तुम्हारे साथ करें. Above all, the simplest strategy is to treat everyone you meet at home or work like $1 million customer. Treat the other person as though he or she is the most important person in the world. Treat them as though they were capable of buying $1 million worth of your product or service. As Emmett Fox says, once if you must be rude to strangers, but save your company manners for your family. Every day in every way, look for ways to lighten the load and help other people do their jobs better and live their lives more easily. This will build up great reservoir of positive feeling towards you that will come back to you to benefit you year after year. And let's sum up this chapter in 5 points. Associating with the right people is the chapter's name, and let's read it. Make a list of the most important people in your work and business life. Develop a plan to help each person in some way. Make a list of the most important people in your personal life. Determine the kind of relationships you want to have with them and what you will have to do to achieve them. Identify the groups and organizations in your community and your field that it would be helpful for you to join. Phone today and arrange to attend the next meeting. Make a list of the top people in your community or in your field and make a plan to get to know them personally. Number 5, look for every opportunity to expand your social and business circle. Send people letters, cards, faxes, emails, build bridges at every opportunity. Thank you, everybody, for staying for the session, completing the chapter number 12. Now, it's very imperative that we go into a gratitude, Lotus of Gratitude, just before we call it a night, so that we have beautiful vibrations before we sleep. So once again, like every day, close your eyes and put your hands together, small little beautiful lotus buds, and one by one open them and think of 10 beautiful gratitude that you can be grateful for. Beautiful acts of kindness, empathy, love, somebody pampered you, whatever. Think of it. Let's take 100 seconds and circle back to each other. And with every thought that you give for gratitude, be so much grateful. Count your date from the morning until now and just think of every possible blessing. Life is so full of blessings. Sometimes 15-20 gratitudes take just less than 100 seconds. Once you start counting your gratitude, your blessings, the blessings come to you in such a shower of wonderful, magical synchronicities, making you richer, better, and so much more deeper as a person. Now let's put our hands near our heart, over our heart, and feel your heart expand, becoming so expansive with the love and the joy that we have felt in counting our blessings. Let's wait and manifest and wish everybody so much of love, joy, and happiness. Whatever we feel at every night before we sleep and in the morning when we wake up, may the same feeling be transmitted by so many more people across the universes. So let the love and the light expand. Let the feeling of abundance expand. Let the feeling of gratitude expand. Expand your heart, expand your life. And now you expand your hands in the abundance pose with your hands stretched out next to your chest on both sides. Stretch them as wide as possible, open them and face them towards heavens and affirm, I am open and receptive for all the magical synchronicities in my life. I am open and receptive for all the prosperity I'm being bestowed with on me every single day and every single moment. I see the opportunities and I take them and I progress in my life. I am full of love and light. My vibrations heal. I'm in harmony with my life, with people around me. Love is the language I speak. Success is the language I speak. I am successful. I am kind. And I just create my wealth internally by growing strong with a knowledge bank and externally by implementing them and becoming the top in my line of chosen profession, business, academics, or whatever. I am blessed. I'm truly blessed. Now let's fold our hands near our heart, bow in gratitude to all the masters, angels, guardians, spirit guides, gurus, mentors, teachers in this realm or the other, in this dimension or the other, in this universe or the other, for blessing each one of us with such beautiful wisdom, for becoming better and for improving our goals in our lives. May the wisdom prevail upon everybody. Let there be love, let there be light. Let's all be blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining in the sacred space of learning, growing, and being grateful. Now sleep tight and have a good night. And I'll see you tomorrow in the evening at 9 p.m. Thank you, thank you, thank you.